getting people to come together who have oppositional views and try to find what's the base of humanity that underlies all that, and how can we reach to that and learn to expand our understanding of each other, so that when we try to come to the table to create change and compromise, we're not coming at it from a place of I'm right, you're wrong. So Pema Chodron, another great leader of our time, I recommend her writings tremendously. And she talks a lot about working with anger. One of the things that happens is that it shrinks us. When we feel anger, we shrink and we get very pinpoint in, defensive, like I have to defend my point of view, or I have to defend my, whatever it is you're defending. And she said it narrows us, and that really what we need to do when we feel angry is to learn how to expand ourselves and how to grow our compassion to the point where we can perceive and start to listen to and understand different points of view. So Stephen Cope, another wonderful yoga teacher, has developed a technique called riding the wave, which I'm going to teach to you today. And it's a practical tool to use when we have anger. So if you are feeling angry about what's happening in the world, the racism in the world, the police brutality in the world, the response of bad behavior from protesters going out and burning and looting, and just the violence that has come from two sides of an equation that cannot meet. I think it's really important to learn a technique within ourselves so that we can bring the big down into the small. Like what do we have control over? We have control over how we act. And really, that's all we have control over. And so this is a technique to help us in moments of anger so that we can choose wisely our actions and words. So I'll just briefly talk about it, and then we'll do the practice later in our practice. So the first step of it is to just breathe, just to find our breath. And the next step is to relax. So often when we feel anger rising within us, it's a biochemical surge in our body, and it creates tension in our body and in our mind. And, it's kind of like the closed fist, right? Just tension. And if we can breathe and drop down into our diaphragm and let things go and then relax, we can loosen that cord just a teeniest bit so that we can sink a little deeper. And then the next step of it is to feel. So to drop down into the body and feel, instead of just living in the mind, the injustices that's been put upon me, and I'm angry, and whatever it is, it could be angry about something so silly, right? But whatever it is, you get away from the mind aspect of it and into the body. So you start to feel, how does anger feel in my body? Where am I feeling it? Describe the sensation in your, try to really sense what it is that you're experiencing. And then once you're in the body, to step away and become the witness of the body, so that you're just, you can be both the feeler of the biochemical emotional state, and you can be the witness to it. And having that slight step back can be very helpful. And then the next is, from that witness perspective, to just watch the wave of emotion traveling through you, to ride the wave. That's the term of this technique, is to ride the wave. Because all things pass, all things rise and fall. And especially anger, it's something that can come really quickly. It can be a tsunami wave. And if we are standing at an ocean bed and we're standing in the waves, if we learn how to let the wave flow past us, make space between our legs, or however you're standing, to let the wave move through us, we are much less likely to be bowled over by the wave or to just smack the wave in resistance. So we let the wave pass through us until it's clear. So the emotional state within us, we let it pass until it's really cleared out. And once the wave is gone, then we are left with the witness mind, really observing, okay, now how do I respond instead of how do I react? And these are very different qualities. Responding to anger and reacting to anger, or to whatever is you're angry about, is really the path of gold that we want to find, so that we're not, reaction does not get us very far. So we're going to work a little bit with that today in our practice, so that we can ride the wave and then broaden our view to take a compassionate stance for all viewpoints. So let's just take a moment to close your eyes and notice how the news of the day has impacted you. Are you more impacted by George Floyd's death and how he died, or are you more impacted by the protests and the violence that has come? You know, like where's your emotional state and how is it landing in your body? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling hope? Are you feeling like, thank God this is finally coming to the light and we can deal with it, you know, root out the level of racism and injustice that's there? Are you feeling very compassionate for the wonderful police officers that are all around our nation that are not using excessive force? You know, where are you? So, and then drop out of the mind and come into the body and see, where are you there? How has all of the swirlings of outrage and fear and everything else landed in your body? So let's come into the breath. Come into a state of knowing your diaphragm. Let your diaphragm, so, you know, often we start with relaxing the face. Just drop right down into the diaphragm and relax as best as you can. And start to feel the breath again and notice if you can be free, if your breathing can be free. Let the eyes soften and settle. Let the brain rest. Just try to move away from the skull bones a bit. Feel the expansiveness of our ribs, back body. Where can you relax? So as you just begin to breathe deeply and steadily, what part of you can you let go into a state of surrender? Notice how any sensations you're feeling in the body are starting to change. Maybe you're a little softer somewhere that was hard in the beginning. Maybe you have a little more space somewhere that was tight. Drop all the way down into the legs, the pelvis. Let yourself become grounded. Let the breath touch the bottom of you. See if you can let the legs feel the breath, the pelvic floor feel the breath. And hopefully you're finding a little more ground, a little more space. And with that, bring your hands together at your heart and bow in. What is it that you'd like to cultivate in your practice today? Can you use your practice as the wise tool that it is to help you gain skillful means to know yourself, to be present with yourself? Let's release the hands and come on to our back. All right. So go ahead and lie down on your back. Take a moment to just feel what it is that you're feeling. Let yourself stretch out and expand. Okay, so arms and legs can just go wide for a moment, like you're lying on the earth, lying on grass, lying on a rock. Just let yourself drop into the earth. Feel the ease that comes from that. And let your body breathe into the rest. And throughout your practice, as always, throughout your practice, let's try to let the breath be the leader and you be the follower. So don't go anywhere where your breath isn't taking you. And when you lose the breath, go back and try to find it as often as you need to. And let's stretch our body. Stretch your arms and your legs. Maybe lengthen the right side, lengthen the left side. Just feel that sense of opening through the rims of your body. Maybe it makes you want to hold your breath or yawn or squeeze. So just follow the impulses. And then relax and bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug. Rock around a little bit. Kind of rock on your sacrum, swinging left and right. And then let's do some circles. Circle the knees one way, a few times. Then let's circle the knees the other way. Just taking notice. How are your hips? How are your knees? How are your sacroiliac joints, your back? All right, now let's bring our knees apart from each other and back in. And you just take the angle of your hip joints that feels best to do this. Just waking up the hips a little bit here. All right, and then right knee into the chest, left leg long on the floor, and do the same with the ankles now. So give some rolls through your ankles, wake up the feet. All right, and then switch sides, left knee into the chest, right leg is long on the floor. Wiggle out your toes, roll through your ankles, feel a sense of compression in there if it feels good in your hip. All right, and then stretch everything out again. And this time when we stretch out like starfish, arms and legs wide, squeeze everything you got. You can hold your breath or let your breath keep moving, but just squeeze all the muscles you have access to. And then bring your knees into your chest and relax here. Take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, pick up your head and squeeze everything you have access to here. Just wake up all your muscles, whatever you can contract, even your face. And then open that up. Take a deep breath in, starfish again. No squeezing, just extending. Exhale, knees into the chest, head in. One more time. Inhale and open up wide. Exhale and close in. And then relax, roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, so let's find some cat-cows. Just notice what it feels like to arch and round the spine. Take your time. Notice any little nook and cranny in your back that needs some support. Feel free to pause, stay in some places that might feel good. All right, and then start to move the pose around any way you want to move the pose around. You can do some pelvic circles. You can do some swing from side to side. You can do anything that feels really good in the body. Okay, so find the breath. Take your time. Move in. Breathe. And then come to a flat back. Steady yourself here. Find your breath. Take your right leg straight back behind you. Square up the hips. We're going to exhale and bring the knee right into the chest. Just wake up the core a little bit. Let's keep the hands on the floor for just this first couple rounds of this, and then we'll add the hand. Okay, so as you come into it, now bring the opposite hand out too, and just keep moving. So we're moving from the extension into the flexion. As your breath guiding you. All right, and then let's go ahead and come back out. Bring that hand and foot onto the ground and switch sides. So we're going to start with our leg. When you come into this, square the hips. Try not to let the hip lift. Extend through your spine. Maybe you want to pulse your leg a couple of times. Just feel whatever it is that you need to stay engaged. And then draw in. Exhale to draw your chin to your chest. Your knee in. Inhale, bring it back out. Follow your breath. And now let's add the arms with it. Reach that arm out in front of you. Exhale to hug in. Inhale to bring it out. Exhale to bring it in. One more time. And then place the hand and knee down onto the ground. If you want to do a cat-cow or any kind of movement in the spine, you take that, and let's find our twist. Right arm lifting up to the sky. Exhale and slide that shoulder down to the floor. Gaze toward the ground and keep your neck soft. Notice the breath here. Try to wake up all parts of your body. So, this tool that we're going to use in this riding the wave practice for anger management. If we don't have an awareness of our body to begin with, good luck finding it when you're in a heightened state, right? So practice the art of feeling your body when you're calm, when things are just peaceful in your body. Notice the sensations there. Notice how the breath moves. And then inhale, reach that arm all the way up to the sky. Place the hand down onto the ground. And let's change sides. Arm up. Exhale, arm down, shoulder down. Shoulders away from the ears. Find a little bit of space in the back rib cage. What are you feeling? Soften your eyes, soften your jaw. Take a deep breath into the rib cage. Notice the diaphragm here. Can you feel it move into the back body? Do you feel the low back expand a little bit as you inhale? And then inhale. Lift that arm all the way up to the sky. Place the hand down onto the ground. Child's pose. Lengthen the spine here. Walk the hands wherever is comfortable for you. That might mean back down at your sides instead of up overhead. Find your breath. Stay rooted in the index fingers and thumbs. And then let's walk over to one side. Lengthen through the side of your body. Drop weight down into the pelvis. Relax the base of the skull. Deep breath in and away. And then let's walk the other side. Inch over. Finding the breath here. Soften the forehead toward the floor. Deepen the rib cage. Deepen the breath. And then come back. Place the hands, curl the toes under. Up you go, dog pose. Lengthen through the spine. See what it feels like to find space. Pedal out your feet. Maybe you want to drop a heel or bend a knee. Maybe you want to, when you bend that knee, kind of cross it past the midline so your other hip stretches up. Just see what feels good in your body. Warm things up, wake things up. Remember, movement is really good to wake up soft tissue. So sometimes static holds need a little movement in the beginning before holding to just loosen up all your fascia. Stay rooted in the index fingers. Stay rooted in the thumb mounds. And then find your yielding here. So notice, can you yield into the floor and receive back from the earth? Find the yield push in this pose. And what does it give you? What kind of connection do you have when you feel that? Let the breath expand. And then walk forward and come into Uttanasana. Feet hip width apart. Soften your forehead down. Breathe deeply. Inhale for a halfway lift. The spine gets longer. Exhale and melt back down. Let's repeat that a couple more times. Okay, so find your way into a halfway lift. You can hold the tops of your thighs or the shins if you want. Extend the spine. And then exhale and melt back down. Knees can bend. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Spine gets long, soft knees. Exhale and melt back down. Rise up, push off your feet, coming all the way to the sky. Reaching the arms up. Remember, you can always tuck your chin, bring your hands together if you're a little dizzy, if your blood pressure drops when you stand up. Find the breath. Open the chest, cactus, open the arms if it feels good. And then exhale and round in. Reach the arms up. Let's grab onto the left wrist with the right hand. Find the extension, open and lengthen through your body. Deep breaths. Feel the roots of your feet. And then come on up. Change sides. Grab the other way. Try not to yank at your elbow, wrist, or shoulder, but feel the expression of this originate in the rib cage. And then come back to center. Release the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Open up. Your arms can come away from the spine wherever they go. Dangle your head. Let it relax a little bit. Deep breath in and away. Inhale for a halfway lift. Spine gets longer. Exhale and melt. Let's step our left foot back. Our right foot's going to stay forward. Come into a lunge. Blocks are nice if you have them. Find your breath. And let's start moving here. Exhaling to square the hips. Keep the hips square no matter what you're doing. But bend and straighten the knee, moving, just enjoying. What kind of sensations are you feeling in your body? Can you enjoy the feeling of stretch? Can you feel the enjoyment of feeling of compression? Go ahead and bend your knee now. Find the back knee and place it down onto the ground. You can curl your toes under or lay them flat. Feel the extension begin in that hip flexor. Rise up, bring the arm to the sky. And when you're ready, we're going to cross the left elbow to the right knee. Put your hand on your other shoulder. This hand can stay on your thigh, finding the sense of expansion across your chest. Deep breaths in, deep breaths away. Then when you're ready, rise up, bring the arms back to the sky, place the hands down onto the ground, come into a lunge. We're going to come into a full lunge now. So the knee is off the ground, extend through your spine, find your breath, and extend upward. Maybe your arms don't want to go upward. Maybe they need to be down. So whatever you're doing, are you able to breathe? Are you feeling the capacity for rest in the body? Can you feel a sense of reach and space through your torso? How's your diaphragm feeling? And we're going to twist here. So it's a little different than when our hand was on our knee. Just feel the openness through the hip flexor of the back leg. Drop the shoulders down. Find your lunge. Even though there's work beginning in the body, is there a place for rest to happen here? Where are you restful? Where are you at ease? Bring the arms back up, reach and extend. And place the hands down onto the ground. Back foot coming forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt other foot down. So let's take the left foot forward. The right foot comes back. Start to move here like we often do. Straightening and bending the leg. The hips stay square. Don't forget about tucking your chin toward your chest. Enjoy. What is feeling good in your body when you do this? Just remember that we're breathing, we're following the breath, finding a state of effort and relaxation, feeling the body, the sensations of the body. Just try to, stay in the body. We can get trapped up in the mind so much. Stay in the sensations of the body. Let it ground you. All right, let's put our knee down onto the ground. Rise up. Just bring one arm up in the air, or just keep it down if your shoulder doesn't like to go up. Extend and lengthen. Find the hip flexors. Remember to hug the front heel and the back knee toward each other so you're stable instead of collapsing. And then bring the elbow to the outer knee. Cross your hand over your chest. Use your other hand to be a kickstand for your spine. Lengthen. Find your breath. Let this be a little ringing out for your diaphragm. A little twist can help kind of compress across your diaphragm. Give it a sponge. And then unwind and bring your hands back down onto the ground. Back knees coming off the floor now. Find your stance so you can take the foot out to the right more if you need to, or to the left rather, whatever's working for you. Maybe your state of being able to stay with your breath means your hands have to be here. So don't follow me, follow you. Okay, so whatever's working in your body, find your breath, find a state of relaxation. Observe the sensations. What are you feeling? Scan your whole body. Start at your feet and work up. Start at your hands and work down. Just notice what you're feeling. Let's find a twist here, opening up to the side. Deep, full breaths, shoulders down. Find that state of relaxation somewhere. Your face is always a good place to begin if you're searching for relaxation, because it's often a place that we hold tension unnecessarily. So it can be a great teacher and gift of relaxation, learning how to relax, actively relax. Reaching the arms back up, extend through your sides, and then place your hands down onto the ground. This time step back to a plank. So 2 hands on the ground, knees off the floor, unless you want your knees on the floor. You can always put your knees down onto the ground. Shoulders away from the ears. Feel the stability through your core. Stretch the heels back. Find that sense of compaction, that you're snug up inside of yourself. You have a midline defined. Follow the breath. And then we're slowly going to lower ourselves to the ground. Knees down first if you need it. Take a deep breath, cobra pose. Exhale. melt back down. Let's pause here for a moment. Take your hands underneath your forehead so your head is straight instead of turned. Observe what you observe. Observe the breath. You can always turn your head too. You don't have to keep it on your hands. Observe how the diaphragm works in the back of you. So a lot of times when we're trying to find the diaphragm, we search the feeling in the front of the body. So transmit that all the way through your body from the front to the back. And notice the back rim. Notice the bottom rib cage. Notice where the breath moves your body as you inhale and you exhale. Can you feel your low back expand and fall? We're going to come up to another cobra pose. Hands down, stable core, long, strong legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale and melt back down. Come up onto all fours. Feel free to wiggle through your hips. You can do some circles or some sways, whatever feels really nice in your body. And then go ahead and find your way back to dog pose again. Long spine and extension. Yield into the floor. Give the yield push. Soften your knees and elbows. Try not to lock your joints out. Deep, full inhales. Long, steady exhales. Walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. And then find, inhale, halfway lift. When we come into chair pose, we're about to do that. You can choose whether you want your feet together or your feet apart. You can put a block between your thighs if that's your preference for doing chair pose. So let's just find it here. So however you like to be, blocks can be very stabilizing. If your knees are wonky, if you have a knee that's a little cranky when you squat, having a block can be very helpful to activate your inner thigh muscles and just a little bit more strength to support your knee. Very stable. So you decide, and then decide what you want to do with your arms as well. You know, do you want them reaching up? Do you want them out? Do you want them back, behind you? What's going to give you a sense of spacious breath? Okay. Find that breath. Follow that breath. Start to feel the sensations now. You know, we're starting to feel it in our legs, and hang out there. Just hang out in the blood flow that's going to your quads, the sense of strength, maybe a little shaking if you're starting to feel weary. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Notice if you lean. Do you like your left foot more than your right foot or vice versa? Find balance as best as you can. Knees are drawing back toward the pelvis. Weight is a little bit more in the heels than in the toes. Where can you rest here? How can you stay in sensation and relax? And inhale, stand up straight and tall. Deep breath. And then as you exhale, fold, inhale. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Let's step your left foot back and come on up to stand. So our right foot is forward, our left foot is turned out. So let's flow here. So remember, we're following the breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale and come into Virabhadrasana 2. And let's just flow through movement here. Follow your breath. Don't look at me, follow your breath. I may go slower or faster than you are, so try not to match my pace, match your breath. All right, and then this next one, we're just gonna hang out. Where do you want your arms to be? What's gonna make your shoulders happy? What's gonna open your heart best? What's gonna help you feel very relaxed and strong and stable at the same time? How do you have that balance of, you know, if you were standing at an ocean edge and a wave was coming to you, how do you stand where you're able to receive the wave and not fall down? It's usually not rigid, right? You have to have a little pliability within you in order to withstand that. So relax, find where things can flow. Inhale and exhale. Discover the sensations that you're feeling everywhere in your legs, your feet. Can you have some yielding here? And then let's reverse. Reach that arm up, feel the side body stretch, and then find the leg in that stretch. Find triangle pose. If you want to use a block, you can use a block. Be mindful to not push this hip forward. Take the back thigh back. Feel a little inner spiral there. Open up your heart. Shoulders are moving away from the ears. Where's your open chest now? Do you have the sense that there's stability here without locking joints out? So, are you a knee hyperextender? Soften. And it may feel weird, if you're used to locking joints and finding your stability from stubbornness, how do you let go of that? How do you let your stability still have room for some different perspectives, for some mobility, for some pliability, some adaptability? All right, let's come out of this pose. Reverse your triangle again. Reach that arm up, get the side body long, and then come into Parsvakonasana. Bend your knee, place your elbow on your knee or use a block. Maybe you want your arm over your head, maybe you want your arm down at your side. So just work with what's working for your shoulders. Open the chest. Once again, are you a tight rubber band? Can you find a sense of softness? Can you melt the knee a little bit? Can you allow the humerus bone to kind of drop into the shoulder blade? What kind of stability can you find that's not taut, that's not, totally into, there's no movement available. Let energy flow through you. How are your hips feeling? Can you engage a lot of muscles? Can you feel the roots? Can you yield? All right, and then go ahead and come on up. Turn your feet to the long edge for a moment. Just rest before we go to the other side. Just find that sense of symmetry through the pelvis. Maybe that means your hands come to the floor. Maybe you have dog pose arms. So whatever is feeling restful for you, where you're still wide apart with your legs. Deep inhale. Surrender the exhale. All right, let's go ahead and come back up. Okay, let's turn to the other side. So once again, let's have some movement here as we move in. And perhaps this hip is not as happy of a hip, or maybe it's like, oh, this is my happy side. So wherever you are, if you have some issues going on with a hip or a knee, remember the pose can be right here. It does not have to be really deep. So keep yourself stable and free, whatever that looks like for you. Find your breath as you move and follow the breath. Do it once more. And steady yourself. Just be steady. Drop the shoulders. Engage through the spine. Lift it and find your core to support you. And yield into the earth. Yield your feet. Rebound out. Find the breath. Seek relaxation. Maybe your arms need to change for that to happen. Whatever you're finding, soften your face. Let any place you're finding a sense of rest, let it penetrate like ripples in the pond. See if you can spread it out. Also stay with the stronger sensations. When you feel a wave of effort, can you stay right there with it? And then find your reverse. Reach that arm up, open the ribs, and then come to straighten your leg and find triangle pose. These standing poses, they're so good for us. They build a lot of stamina, a lot of perseverance, and a lot of openness to the pelvis. It's not always so easy to find movements through the day that rotate your femur bones well. Open your chest, shoulders away from the ears. Deep breath in, deep breath away. Soften your knee joint. Make sure that you're not pushing it back. Where is your stability? In the sense that there's mobility within the stability. There's a way for the waves to move through you instead of you being locked, bound. All right, come on up. Reverse that triangle pose. Just enjoy the side body stretch. And then when you're ready, bend your knee. Again, come into Parsvakonasana And you decide where that lands. Do you want your elbow on your knee or your hand on the block? Do you want your arm up? Do you want your arm down? Try not to do this where you're overarching one side of the body. Find evenness through the length of your sides. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Let your feet spread out. Yield, give yourself to the earth and receive back. Deep breaths in, deep breaths away. Find the sensations, follow them, just so be aware. What are you feeling throughout your body? How is your breath? How are you responding to having to stay? Can you feel the effort? Can you feel ease within the effort? All right, let's go ahead and come back up. Okay. Turn your feet to the long edge. Okay, move your blocks out of the way for a moment. Come to stand. Okay, legs. We're gonna move through some squats here. So just like we moved through Virabhadrasana, we're gonna move through some squats. So your breath and my breath are different paced. And sometimes if you go fast through this, it can make you dizzy. So slow yourself down, okay? And you get to put your feet wherever you want them, okay? Arms up, exhale, come to squat. A few more times, and you can adjust your feet as you go, find where you wanna be. Find the symmetry here. Close your eyes if you can. Sense into the work of the body. Feel the yielding help you push off the floor. Yield as you go down, give yourself to the earth, and then push off the earth and lengthen. Keep breathing. Let's do two more. When we get down to this next one, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna stay. So have your knees draw back toward the pelvis. Spine is long. Spread out your feet. Deep breaths in. Find a sense of ease. Feel the effort, feel the ease. Feel the breath. Can you be the witness to the sensation and the sensation itself? And then place your hands down, lift your hips high, turn to the long edge of your mat, and come back to dog pose. Enjoy the symmetry, enjoy the ease. Dog pose sometimes feels easier as you go along your way, so notice if that's happening to you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Come forward into a plank, steady yourself. Feel that sense of inner stableness. Okay, so what does it feel like to condense yourself toward the spine? Can you still let your breath be big and broad? All right, and then put your knees down if you need to. Slowly find your way to the floor. Interlace your fingers the weird way behind your back. Lift the heads and the arm bones. When we come into locust pose, you can choose whether you want your legs apart or together, and if you want your legs up or down, okay? So take a deep breath, lift up what you're gonna lift up. The heart expands, the neck is long, the heads and the arm bones lift, hug your rhomboids toward the spine, engage your core, engage your glutes, feel your diaphragm move your body. Exercise the diaphragm. It's a muscle too, give it a job to do. And then release and relax. Turn your head one way or the other, relax your arms, pick up your feet and windshield wiper your knees. All right, and then let's go ahead and relax our legs down. Turn your head the other way and just notice for a moment the breath again. What sensations are you feeling now? Can you observe how the breath moves the body? Where can you relax? All right, let's go ahead and rest. Drop weight down, child's pose, or maybe you want to come onto all fours first and swirl around your hips or sway side to side, whichever's going to make your back feel best. All right, let's go ahead and spread out the hands. Come up into dog pose. Lengthen through your spine. Fill yourself up. Feel your feet, ground yourself, feel the yielding. And then walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana. Hold in half, relax. Inhale and rise all the way up. Find your breath, find your balance on 2 feet for a moment. Just notice what it feels like here. If you get dizzy, just let it. That's a wave that can pass through you too. Okay, we're gonna find our right foot, root it down into the earth, pick up your left foot and cross it over. Okay, so figure 4. You can always do tree, if you want to do tree pose instead, that's a nice plan B if your body doesn't like figure 4. Okay, so you decide, take a breath here. Remember that chair pose we did, now we have no block. Imagine you still have a block. Squat into a little bit, one-legged chair. What do you want to do with your arms? What's going to make you feel spacious and free? What's going to make you feel stable and easy? How can you stay in the sensation and not walk away from it? Can you feel the femur bones drop back into the pelvis, stretch through the big toe and the inner heel? Gaze at something that doesn't move. So don't look at me, I'm moving a little bit. So gaze at the floor in front of you or wherever you go. Deep breaths here. And then we're going to rise up, bring that knee, hug it in, lift the spine, and then place that foot down onto the ground. Yield. Before we go to the other side, just feel the 2 feet on the earth, soften the knee joints, let the diaphragm be really soft and mobile as you breathe. Can you let the pelvic floor drop just along with the diaphragm? Feel that both diaphragms of the body can move down and back up. Feel that you have diaphragms on the bottom of your feet. See if you can let the diaphragm, your actual diaphragm, inform the diaphragms in the soles of your feet. Let them yield, let them lift. Okay, we're going to come over to the other side. So standing on our left leg now, and you can always hold on to something if you're balanced, if you have a wall nearby or a piece of furniture. If you want to do chair pose, tree pose instead, do tree pose instead. Find the breath, okay, and then begin to squat. And you decide how deep you're going into this pose. You get to decide where you want your arms to be. Be real active with your foot. Draw the knee into the hip, widen the sit bones. Feel that your SI joints are stable here, that nothing's getting wonky back there. The back of your pelvis is nice and steady. You're really working with rotating the femur bone and the hip joint. That's the work here. Deep breaths in, deep breaths away. Stable breath. And then we're going to unwind that, pick up the knee, lift it in, spine gets long, exhale, and release that foot down onto the ground. Inhale, rise up, arms to the sky, exhale, and fold in half. Halfway lift, exhale and release, and we're going to come down to the floor. So however you like to be on the ground, I'm going to sit on the edge of a blanket. Whatever works for you. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to come to just a very simple cross-legged twist here. Crisscross your legs. Inhale, lift your right arm up, left hand behind you to support you, hand on your knee, palm out or palm in. You do what's feeling good, but make sure you're still extra, even if your palm is in, externally rotate the head of the arm bone, shoulder blades down. Feel the collarbones broaden. Deepen your breathing. And then come back to center. Find ease. And then we're going to come to the second side. Lift the arm up. Bring the hand to the outside of the knee. Drop the shoulders. Deep breath in. Deep breath away. And then come back. Find your breath. Let your breath out. Okay, so we're going to find our 2 blocks. We're going to come into heart bench. If you don't have blocks, use blankets. So we're going to have 1 block for our head and 1 block for in between our shoulder blades. You can decide where you want that block to be. And if you don't have 2 blocks, just use blankets and bolsters. See what it feels like to have whatever support you need. Now, your legs can do what you want and your arms can do what you want. One of the keys to having your chest supported and your head just a little higher, it's quite soothing to the nervous system. If you feel like you really want to be in an activated open heart space, you can drop the block under your head or remove the block from your head. But if we want to learn how to be open-hearted, which is definitely a key of holding ourselves and others with compassion, sometimes having the ease of the nervous system will give us a little more capacity to rest in the heart opening instead of feeling like it's work to open the heart. So that's why head, one of the reasons why head above the heart above the pelvis. Let's take a few breaths here. You choose what you want to do with your arms. You can interlace them and stretch them over your head. You can have them down at your sides. You can have them out to the side, wherever it feels good for you. Take advantage of the ease that's here. What are you able to drop? What part of your body is tense that you can surrender? Can you feel your breath moving deeply? Can you relax your face, the base of the skull? Full inhale, full exhale. When we're starting to come out of this pose, take your time before you move. Enjoy a few breaths of really consciously surrendering into this posture. What part of you has not let go yet? Can the base of your skull melt more? Anything in your body. Scan and find a place that's still holding. And teach yourself to drop. All right, let's go ahead and find our way out of the posture. So bring your arms down if they were up over your head. Go ahead and roll over onto your side. And then use your arms to come up to sit. Come onto your back once you move your props out of the way. Let's counter the back bend. Bring your knees to your chest. And we're just going to sway a little bit. Don't pull in real tight, just sway. And then let's find a twist. Put your feet onto the ground. Lift your hips, scooch them right, knees up, drop them left. Open the breath here. Once again, melt. So, feel the floor. It's an invitation to drop in. Let's come back. Scoot your hips the other way, knees up. Move them over to the side. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And then come back to center. Do whatever feels necessary in your body for the last moment here. You can come into happy baby, you can rock, you can do anything that feels like your body needs. Okay, so there's no rules. Listen, feel, observe, and then make a choice. What is it that you need? So as you're doing that, think about what it is that you would like for this riding the wave exercise that we're going to do. You can start Shavasana and be in Shavasana to do this. So if you want to lie down, that's awesome. You can totally lie down. I would recommend that. If you feel that you have to sit up to do this, then by all means you can sit up to do this. But I really want you to be comfortable, and usually we're most comfortable when we're lying down. So that would be a good place to be for this. All right. So as you come onto your back and find, get your props, get whatever it is that you need to rest and be comfortable. Now, of course, here we are, deeply embodied now after practicing a while. Hopefully you're not feeling, any surge of anger at the moment. Maybe you are. So sometimes it's harder to conjure this up when you're in a relaxed state, but that's good because you want to practice these tools when you're not activated. When your mind and your body are calm, you can imprint tools very well. And then next time you get angry, try this. See what it feels like, and try with the small angers, the little angers, maybe not the big angers right away. Okay. So first, just rest. Close your eyes, melt in. Come into the breath. Everyone knows how hard it is to stop and take a deep breath when you feel angry. So let's just enjoy the ease of being able to go into the breath now. Relax. So the first step is to just breathe. Drop the diaphragm, breathe deeply, and relax. Once your body feels a little more at ease, and when you're angry, this can be hard. It might be as simple as opening your palms. It might be as simple as melting your jaw. There's just try to find one little pocket of your body that you can surrender to and hope that the ripple extends from there. The next stage after just breathing and finding a little bit of relaxation is to feel what you're feeling. Try to both be the feeler and the next step, the witness. Watching what you're feeling, observing the body. So can you simultaneously be the sensation and the observer of the sensation? What are you feeling right now? Is there texture to it? Is there temperature to it? Is there space to it? Is it tight? What are you feeling? And then the last step of this very simple but very difficult process to do when you are in a biochemical surge is to just allow whatever you're feeling, to let it wash through you. If we grasp and try to hold or push down or manipulate or control, we can't let things move through us. So step back, breathe, relax, feel, watch, and allow. Just allow. So what are you allowing right now? And when we're in a state of anger, sometimes it takes a little while. It's not something that usually falls away right away. Just allow whatever is feeling in your body right now. And when you are in the state of letting things move through you, and you wait until there's clear, calm water again, when you get to that clear state, our choices now are responses. We respond to whatever angered us. We respond to the situation at hand instead of react. And responding, it allows for our wisdom to come in. It allows for that broad expanse, the compassion that Pema Chodron speaks about, that we can observe from many angles, see many points of view, hold all points of view with compassion and spaciousness and curiosity and respect instead of my way or the highway. Let's just melt all that away and just keep it in your this imprint of this practice in your memory bank, so you can pull it out of your pocket when next time you get a little angry about something. Drop into Shavasana. Forget your thinking mind. Come into the feeling body again. Become the breath. Let the breath be everywhere. Feel the heaviness of your body become one with the earth. Deep belly breath, soft, loose diaphragm. Loosen up your face, any tension you feel in your palms, your neck, the base of your skull, your jaw, anywhere. Just let things go. As we start to emerge, be still in the body, but just wake the mind for some listening. Find your breath again. I'm just going to read you some words of Martin Luther King. The limitations of riots, moral questions aside, is that they cannot win and their participants know it. Hence, rioting is not a revolutionary but a reactionary act because it invites defeat. It involves an emotional catharsis, but it must be followed by a sense of futility. Nonviolence is an absolute commitment to the way of love. It is not emotional bash. It is not empty sentimentalism. It is the active outpouring of one whole being into the being of another. Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love. Let's go ahead and begin moving, breathing. Find your body again, stretch, wiggle, sway, whatever you need. And eventually find your way onto your side and come up to sit. Let's place our hands together. And let's open our heart and send forth some energy for this capacity for all of us to gain wisdom and tolerance, to gain the capacity for understanding different points of view, for seeking out ways to stop injustices that are based from a state of grace and love and wisdom and strength instead of reaction. Let's hold all the people who have suffered injustices around the world, every kind of injustice, this deep suffering we all, and that means we're holding everybody, the whole world has experienced some level of betrayal in this way. So let's just hold with an open heart. And let's hold love around that. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.